Is a lab-grown diamond as good as the real thing? Hi there, everyone. It's Jeff, and this is Plain English. Here at Plain English, we use stories to help you upgrade your skills in English. We like using stories because they help you engage with your new language. That means you'll build a real connection with English and you'll remember more of what you learn. Today's story is all about diamonds. Specifically, is a lab-grown diamond as good as the real thing? And we'll also talk about how these lab-grown diamonds are affecting the prices of mined diamonds. In the second half of the lesson, we'll talk about the English word intangibles. It's Thursday, so JR has selected a song of the week for us. And speaking of JR, he's the producer, and he has uploaded the transcript of this lesson and all the other exercises and resources to plainenglish.com/617. So check that out, plainenglish.com/617. Let's get going. Diamonds are special. Among all gemstones, they are the most brilliant and beautiful. They reflect the light in magical ways, and many have unique colors due to chemicals or impurities in the stone. Diamonds are versatile and timeless. They go well in bracelets, earrings, and necklaces, in addition to engagement rings. They are also extremely hard. The only mineral that can scratch a diamond is another diamond. That makes them durable. They can last a lifetime, or more accurately, several lifetimes. The word diamond comes from the Greek word meaning unbreakable. So diamonds are beautiful and durable. But diamonds are also expensive. The average diamond engagement ring in the US costs $6,000. The average masks a lot of variation. Many diamond rings cost $50,000 or more. Diamonds are expensive because they are rare. They formed between 1 and 3 billion years ago, the result of millions of years of extremely high heat and high pressure deep under the Earth's surface. Volcanic eruptions then brought them close to the surface, where humans, many years later, would discover this limited supply of diamonds. Long story short, Mother Earth is not making any more diamonds. For many years, just one company, De Beers, controlled the majority of the diamond mines in the world. The South African company employed a unique strategy to keep its profits high. De Beers purposely mined fewer diamonds than it could have with the purpose of maintaining scarcity and keeping prices and profits high. But now, two things threaten those perpetually high diamond prices. The first is that other companies have started to enter the market, mining and selling their own diamonds. And they're not holding back. This means that the old De Beers strategy of limiting supply to keep prices high, that's not working as well anymore. The other change is the improvement of lab-grown diamonds. Yes, you heard right. It's possible to grow a diamond in a laboratory. There are two methods for doing this. Both require starting with a sliver of an existing diamond and adding carbon. One method uses chemicals and the other uses high heat and high pressure. In both cases, the gem grows slowly, just about a millimeter per day. That means it can reach 1 carat in a month. The average engagement ring is 1 to 2 carats once it's cut and polished. So a few months in the lab can produce a stone big enough to make an engagement ring. The best news is that a lab-grown diamond, when set on a ring, is indistinguishable from a natural diamond to the average observer. Lab-grown diamonds have been around for a while, but the quality is starting to improve and the costs have been falling. Lab-grown diamonds used to represent only a 20% savings over the cost of a true diamond. A 20% savings was good, but not groundbreaking. Now, though, a lab-grown diamond can be 80% cheaper than the real thing. Now, there's a lot more to the cost of an engagement ring than just the stone. So, engagement rings with lab-grown diamonds aren't exactly cheap, but prices are falling and consumers can expect to enjoy the benefit of cheaper diamond engagement rings if they're willing to accept a stone created in a lab. Some people will see this as a compromise. The value of a diamond is not just in how it looks, but in the fact that it came from deep within the earth, that it's old, and that it's scarce. A lab-grown diamond is just as beautiful, but doesn't have those intangibles. There is another side to this story, however. The world's biggest diamond reserves are in Russia, Botswana, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and South Africa, all countries that are ethically problematic. Not all diamonds are mined in an environmentally friendly way. Many miners are paid very poor wages and work in inhumane conditions. Children are sometimes forced to work in mines. The sale of some diamonds can finance rebel or terrorist groups. And that's before we get to Russia, the country with the largest deposits. So buying a lab-grown diamond can be cheaper, and it also avoids contributing to the serious social and environmental costs of mining in problematic places. A classic De Beers advertising campaign popularized the phrase, "A diamond is forever," but high prices for diamonds may not be. A couple of diamond facts for you. I read that wealthy couples have been buying lab-grown diamonds for a while. They buy a real diamond engagement ring and then a lab-grown replica that they can take while traveling. Must be nice. The other fact is that you can turn your ashes into a diamond. We mentioned this back in lesson 543 about alternatives to burial. And one thing you can do, well, not you, but your heirs, you can have them turn your ashes into a diamond. And the way this works is with a lab-grown diamond. A lab-grown diamond uses carbon to grow the stone. That's the material. So in that case, the carbon that they'd use would be the ashes of a person. So when you die, you can have your remains turned into a lab-grown diamond. It's Thursday, so JR has selected a song of the week. Today, it's The Bones by Maren Morris. If you say something has good bones, you're saying it has good structure, like a good skeleton. So even if it's not in good shape at this moment, if it has good bones, it can always be improved. One line in the song says, "The house won't fall if the bones are good." This was one of the most popular country songs of 2020. They say it's a country song, but it gives me some pop and R&B vibes. Check it out. The Bones by Maren Morris is the song of the week. Today, I've got just one word for you: intangibles. Intangible, the word, is an adjective. It means something that isn't physical. It can't be touched. It's generally something abstract. Things like emotions, thoughts, your reputation, trust, dreams, things like that. These are intangible. They're real, but you can't touch them. In business, an intangible asset is something like a brand name. A brand name or reputation isn't something you can point to or touch like a machine, but a brand name is still valuable. Often we can simply say intangibles if we mean intangible properties or intangible characteristics. And that's how you heard it in today's story about diamonds. There are a lot of ways to describe a diamond. First, you can talk about its size. The size of a diamond is measured in carats. Next, you can talk about its shape. It can be round, heart-shaped, whatever. You can talk about its color. Some diamonds are clear. Those are the purest. But some diamonds have colors inside that come from impurities and chemicals. There's something called a cut grade or a cut quality. These are all tangible characteristics. You can look at them and measure them. But diamonds come with intangibles too. They're rare. They convey status. Some people like the idea that they were formed 1 billion years ago and now those diamonds are on their engagement ring. It's like a connection to the earth, a connection to the past. These are intangible properties of diamonds. You can feel them, but you can't point to them. You can't measure them. You can't touch them. You can decide for yourself if these intangibles make a real diamond better than a lab-grown diamond. A historic building has intangibles. Imagine there are two buildings right next to each other that are identical in every way, but one of them was home to a former president or prime minister. Which one is more valuable? Of course, it's the one that was home to the famous person. But why? The answer is that it has intangibles. It has a connection to the past. When you walk through the house, you can imagine the famous person living there as a child. This is intangible. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. You can't measure it with a ruler. You can't point to it, but it's there. Rare books, antique cars, rare coins, these all have intangibles too. The words in a first edition rare book are the same as in subsequent editions, but that first edition has a connection to the past. People can have intangibles too. Leadership is often described as intangible. On a sports field, you might have two players that are identical in all their statistics, but one is a better leader. One inspires his teammates more than the other. One is a better teacher, mentor. If you just look at the stats, just look at the production on the field, just look at what can be measured, you might be missing the intangibles. When you go to hire someone, one hard debate can be, how much value do we place on intangibles? If you're deciding between two candidates for a job, you might find that they're equal in terms of education, experience, and qualifications, but one of them just seems better with people. You can imagine that one of them might form a better connection with customers and coworkers. Not every job qualification can be written down on paper and measured. Now, you wouldn't want intangibles to be the only basis for choosing one candidate over another, but it can often break a tie. So as you can see in all of these examples, intangibles are often about how things make you feel. A diamond ring, a signed book, an historic house, a charismatic employee. And that's all for today's Plain English. This was lesson number 617. So if you're looking for the transcript, that's where you find it, plainenglish.com/617. The transcript is included in all membership plans, including the free one. But the enhanced transcript, this is the one with the built-in translations from English to Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, Italian, Japanese, Polish, Turkish, French, and German. The enhanced transcript is part of our Starter and Plus memberships. Now, you can get the Starter membership for as little as $4 per month, and you'll get translations of the keywords and phrases into your own language instantly, right there in the transcript. So if you're not getting the enhanced transcripts with translations, check out the plans at plainenglish.com/join, JOIN. That's where you can get access to the enhanced transcripts with translations. plainenglish.com/join. That's all for today. We'll be back on Monday with a new lesson. See you then.